Hey guys, so I wanted to make a quick video on how I sharpen my wildlife photos, and I do most of my editing in Adobe Lightroom Classic CC, and the reason for this is just everything is put together, the organizing and the editing is all in one program, but I do use the sharpening feature in Photoshop, so that's what I'm going to show you here today. For Lightroom, I still do a little bit of sharpening. The default amount here is 40, and I like to take it down to at least 25 or less. This just gets rid of the regular kind of blurred image from a raw file. The image is sharp, but it still takes a little bit of sharpening just to get over the anti-aliasing filter, the lenses and things like that. And then this image is already edited, so I've only done the sharpening edits here. And what I'll do then is right click, go to edit in and choose Adobe Photoshop 2020. And this will open up the raw file into Photoshop. And this is just a way I can edit the raw file directly with the Lightroom edits still applied. And then whenever it opens up in Photoshop, it will save the image as a TIFF with the sharpening applied, and then this will automatically transfer back to Lightroom. So now that it's opened back up here in Photoshop, I'm going to go to Filter, Sharpen, choose Smart Sharpen. And this opens up this dialog with a lot more sharpening options than Lightroom has, which is why I do this. So I like to click over to the area I want sharpest, zoom in to 200% or so, and that way you can see the effect a lot better. And so starting from top to bottom here, I like to make sure preview is checked so you see the preview on the main image down here. For amount, this depends on how much noise is in the image. If it's relatively noise free like this one, I'll go up as high as 200 or 300%. Radius, most of the time I'm at 0.5. If there's a lot of heat shimmer, I'll often go up to 1 or 1.5 and it will kind of get rid of a little bit of that. But the radius, a lot of it depends on the camera and lens combination you're using, so you can play around with anything from 0.2 to 0.5 to 1.0. Reduce noise is not an option for what we're doing here. On the remove option, lens blur is what I choose most of the time, but like I said, if there's heat shimmer, I will go with Gaussian blur. I hope that's how you say it, Gaussian. And this seems to work a little bit better for heat shimmer than lens blur does. But for the rest of the time, I'll stick with lens blur. And for this option down here, I have shadows 100%, 50%, and 1 pixel. And what this does is avoids sharpening in the shadow areas where you really don't need it. And the same thing for the highlights, but just opposite, where it's not fading away on the highlights, so everything that's a highlight is still sharpened, everything that's a shadow is not sharpened. The exception here is like this bison, his eyes are technically in the shadows even though everything's lit evenly. So I'll take the fade amount down to 50% or so, and that brings back some sharpening in the eyes there. To see the before and after, you just click anywhere on this preview image box and you can hold it down to see the no sharpening and then sharpening applied. And remember, this is at 200%, so everything's exaggerated. This is a really big image if you were going to print this, so 100% is a little sharper perceptually, I guess. And so this is more of what you would see as a full-size image, at least on my size screen. But if you zoom out to like 25%, this is what you would see for Instagram or Facebook or something like that. And so everything's going to look a lot sharper as the image gets smaller. So what I'll do is just hit OK, and this applies the edits there. Then I hit Command S, and this will save. You can also just go to File, Save. And now this is saved as a TIFF you can see up here. And then when you go back to Lightroom, you can see the original raw file here, and the TIFF file is saved here. Basically what I do from here, I would just right click again, choose Export, and then I have some presets already for different sizes and qualities. So if I was going to put this on Facebook, I would just choose Facebook, and then the file is saved on my desktop automatically because that's how I've chosen the presets. If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit the like button below and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Thanks.